There is an old poem called The Unquiet Grave. A young man sits over the grave of his beloved who had died. He asks for one last kiss from her clay-cold lips. She then, speaking from her grave, eventually answers him, saying, "If you have one kiss of my clay-cold lips, your time will not be long." Perhaps she is saying to him that if he connects so solidly, so deeply, so perpetually, to the pain of grief, even nostalgia, then he, himself, will die. There is an old Irish poem, or song, or blessing that starts with, "May the road rise up to meet you." The problem with this dynamic road is that it rises to meet up with what is in our mind, the single thought, a little dot, that is in the center of our minds. The thought in the center of the mind, of our focus, calls forth this road, it will rise up to meet us. There is this curious and somewhat elusive scripture in the Bible, "See to it, then, that the light within you is not darkness." Therefore, if your whole body is full of light, and no part of it dark, it will be just as full of light as when a lamp shines its light on you. I think the explanation of this verse is in the understanding of the little dot in the center of our mind. Whatever we focus on, for a moment, spreads out and covers the entirety of the body of the mind. Perhaps we can say there is a body that the mind makes, and whatever other bodies we have, this particular body has standing and has a say, and is valid. The center thought fills, and forms, this entire body, we become that, in full, for that moment, and the cosmos see it so, even the road that waits for us. This is a vulnerability, or a strength of the unique human, however fallen or broken. The point of the scripture is that the center thought is not a partial fill, even though our brains tell us it is. It forms the mind-body, entirely, in that moment. See to it, then, advises Jesus. See to it, then, that you see your exquisite self in newness, in your focus, and then the mind-body, as it were, will form so in full, you will become this in full, in that moment, it spreads out in full, and there is no other, because the shine of the thing is like a light where there is no darkness. If you see yourself as a mixed bag of pain and happiness, a hybrid creature, then you become the hybrid creature, for that moment, in full. I saw an image in my mind the other day, a dark being. He was sitting as though in the air somewhere, human-like with a drabby cloak, and two large horns protruding from his head. His face was more like a skull, but cavitated inward, and terribly broken. At that moment I thought this was no demon, but a fallen angel. It had some sort of instrument, something with strings, that it directed to me, somehow it had to do with how or what I thought in my mind. Why would a fallen angel be aware of me? As I watched I saw something like a meteorite, which may have been an angelic help, came out of the sky, very fast, and rammed right into the fallen angel. The point of the above is the point of the way we think. Our negative, out-of-focus thoughts may cause our face to cave in. And the face represents our vector, the piercing strength of our vector into dimensional space. If we don't have a face, then we have no say. Being self-aware of the beauty and feeling of our exquisite self, in the light of truth, is a thought that forms a mind-body, in full, and gives us a face, and the awareness and feeling of the exquisite self, and its value, creates or forces, in space-time, in the heaven itself, an automatic insistent point, unique and necessary physics, a thing that insists upon itself, and this insistence calls forth the road that rises to meet us.